Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 Streaming. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley, of course, joined by Jarrett Lansford and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. After so much snow that we got yesterday, now it is just so freezing outside. We were just talking about what are kids going to do today as far as recess goes. I mean, it could make it tough for even standing outside for the bus, right?
Yeah, it's going to be an indoor recess kind of day. And yeah, if you got the option, you mentioned this, drive the kids to school if you can, if they got to wait for the bus stop, just because wind chills are so cold. You got this cold weather advisory, it's called. It's kind of a new product here, combining the cold with the wind chills and the snow on the ground and things like that. So 25 below is about as cold as some of the wind chills will be out there this morning. Actually, we've had a couple of spots that briefly dipped to 30 below with the wind chill. So that's what we're dealing with this morning. Now, the air temperature's been bouncing around a little bit. We have been as cold officially as 9 below at the airport. Now we're back up to 5 below. Light wind. It's been no stronger than about 7 miles per hour this morning, but it does put the wind chill down in the double digits below zero anytime you feel the breeze. So plan accordingly. I guarantee you those pets will be going in and out of the house or out and then back in really quickly this morning, and you're going to make sure you get everybody into school and the office quickly as well with these feels like temperatures. Again, Carroll 30 below, York at 31 below. The coldest number on the map's just kind of been bouncing around depending on where some of that slightly stronger wind has been. And as we go through the morning hours, with light winds, we're going to get some of these numbers going up a little bit. I guess this is tomorrow's wind chill. I put the wrong map, the chart on here, but tomorrow doesn't look incredibly pleasant either with the wind chills in the morning. This morning, they'll be down near 20 below to start off. Now, let's take you through the day today. Everybody's below zero to start. First alert to a lot of sunshine today, but it just doesn't do much. A lot of the times with the fresh snow, the sun will reflect off the snow and then back up into the atmosphere, and there goes all the warmth. It doesn't get a chance to warm the ground, warm things around it, and help with the air temperatures as well. So by noon, we're up in the single digits. By 2 o'clock, we're up to about 15, and then a high today of 16, trying to get everybody in the double digits for a high. If you fall short, it's going to be in west central Iowa here, and a little bit of a south breeze trying to kick in. But later on tonight, that is when that really starts to pick up a little bit. We'll dip down into the single digits briefly this evening. I think, 10 to midnight. Now, normally we see our low temperature early in the morning, right before sunrise. That's not going to be the case tomorrow. Actually, with the clouds increasing, south wind picking up, the numbers will rise a little bit, setting the stage for what is very, very likely to be our warmest day that we have for quite a while. Now, tomorrow's not a first alert weather day, but a couple of things to note. 32 for the high tomorrow. Small chance of a little wintry mix right in the middle of the day. We'll watch the chances go up a little bit towards noon and stay there for the first couple hours of the afternoon. I don't expect it to be much. If you're on the Iowa side, you may have a little better likelihood of seeing some sleet out of this. And then we warm up to about 31, 32 for the high. Something to factor in tomorrow, though, is the wind. I think this is the biggest story. It'll gust up near 40 miles per hour several times, it looks like, tomorrow. There's a lot of dry powder out there, and that could be blowing around back over onto the roads in some instances, and that could be a problem for plows. They may need to go back out tomorrow just to clean off what's blown back onto the road. So watch for that, especially drive in wide open areas. So 32 for the high there. And then there's more snow potential. Saturday could be the first of several opportunities yet we have over the course of the next 10 days.
How many are we talking, Ross?
There's a lot going on over the next week, and we want you to watch. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
But I say this many times in busy weather patterns, pay attention to the forecast, because every day things change and there's different weather and impactful weather. And Saturday, well, even tomorrow for crying out loud, pretty impactful day with that wind. Then Saturday, I think with the snow in the morning, get an early high of 24, the temperature drops. So if you miss out on snow, you still get the crashing temperatures from the 20s into the teens and eventually single digits by the evening. Watch for another 1 to 3 inches of snow that would start probably after midnight Friday night and into the morning hours on Saturday. Now, here's the thing. For the metro, that's what we'll go with right now. But notice how narrow this little stripe is here. And this could move around a little bit north to south over the course of the next 48 hours. And within this, the possibility exists for a little heavier band that could go over 3 inches. Those are the fine details we're trying to figure out with the forecast here, as this system's a pretty quick hitter Saturday morning, and then behind it the cold air races in. And that early high of 24, and then we'll tank down to 2 below by Sunday morning, go to 8 for the high on Sunday, and then there's another snow chance here. I'm talking with Jarrett this morning, trying to figure out, do we put another first alert day here? That'd be every other one. Watch Monday, though. Monday morning's drive into work looks more and more like there's going to be snow. And look at some of these numbers. I fear we might not be cold enough either with our forecast. Some suggest several mornings of double-digit below zero air temperatures to start off. And you look at a couple models suggest maybe 30 below wind chills for a couple of mornings next week as well. We've been, I think 11 below is our coldest morning so far this season. We could rival that a couple of days next week.
It's like we started winter and we can't turn it off.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. We went a long time without snow, and now we may not see bare ground for a little while.
Wow.
That's crazy. Okay, speaking of that, are we seeing some this morning as people hit the roads?
We've really picked things up now. We've got 3 different crashes to talk to you about in different areas of the metro. So let's dive right in on where we're seeing those. And one of those does involve a road closure. This is as you're heading northbound on Blair High, right where you reach the road that would, if you turned left there, you would go toward Kennard. So that's where our closure is, that crash on Blair High, right near that Kennard interchange there. So northbound, you'll be required to seek an alternate route in that area. You can, if you're heading from Blair southbound to head toward the metro, you can do that. Just watch for the emergency crews that are in that area, and you're looking at some delays. That's the first crash. Next one we've been talking about as you make your way eastbound on 275, right at that curve with the interchange with Maple, also known as Highway 64, right at Waterloo. You've got the right lane that has been blocked and continues to be, with that crash being in place there. So you need to stay left. And this is the kind of thing you need to watch for this morning. You can see some of the snow that's kind of showing up in spots, very thin layer. That could get slick in some areas. A lot of the main roads are doing well, but don't completely let your guard down this morning as we're starting things off. This is our other one. You can see we've really built in the delay since I last had a chance to look at this graphic. This is westbound L right near 126. We're backing up all the way to 120th now, which is actually one of the busiest intersections in the metro, right off to the west of I-80. So this is another one to watch where we're going to be looking at some major issues as you head through that stretch as well. You might want to make your way toward Q as an alternate route to try to avoid that one. So picking things up, even where we don't have our crashes, you can see some delays showing up northbound on 680. You've got the JFK northbound also with some slower traffic being in place. So definitely watch the residential areas, any of those ramps, interchanges that could be slick, but don't completely let your guard down on the main roads either, because we do have some issues there too.
I know some people right now are trying to decide too if they're even going to go to work, if it's another day. Do you think you should be using just as much caution today as yesterday?
I think you should be prepared for there to be some slick spots. I think that's definitely a good idea to be ready for to not be a completely smooth drive if you are going to make that choice.
Okay.
All right, Jared, thank you. Well, happening today and for the rest of this week, really, you may experience some trash pickup delays. Due to yesterday's weather, some people's trash collection was pushed back to today. FCC will pick up that trash first today before moving on to the regular Thursday route. The same thing may happen tomorrow as well as Saturday. And on Saturday, FCC will have additional staff to help get them caught up.
Also happening today, Metro Transit says they will continue using snow route option B just in case the roads are still pretty slick this morning. Bus services will include 11 routes similar to the ones that you saw yesterday. Metro Transit also wants to keep in mind delays are possible if you use the Moby service. Now to the safety desk with Maria Cade. Maria, you have some good information this morning about a new study with Ozempic and people who suffer from alcoholism.
The study found that the diabetes and weight loss drug causes people to actually drink alcohol less in this study. So the people in the study all had signs of moderate alcohol use disorder, and AUD affects nearly 30 million people in the U.S. So the study found people taking low doses of a more generic version of Ozempic for 9 weeks drank significantly less alcohol compared to people who were placed placed on a placebo in the study. Now, they also saw less of a craving for alcohol, but this is pretty much one of the first studies that addresses this, so I'm sure they have to do more research to see.
Okay, interesting. And now it also is Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week. Can you tell us more about this?
So in the U.S., the CDC says that a baby is born with a heart defect once every 15 minutes.
Wow.
Can you believe it? So there can be different levels of severity, but experts say for all of these, it's really key to have early detection. So congenital heart defects appear when a baby is born and they impact the structure of a baby's heart. Now, some initial symptoms may only be an extra sound or a murmur that's found during an exam, or there could be something that's not normal that's found on an x-ray. Some of the heart defects can actually be found during pregnancy, and that's by using a special type of ultrasound. But the exact cause of most of these defects is not fully known, but there are some things that can increase the risk of getting one, like a family history of congenital heart defects, if you smoke during pregnancy, or take certain medications.
If you know kind of what you're dealing with at the beginning, then really you can often be in front of the patient even developing symptoms.
Now, even though many heart defects are not able to be cured, some advancements in care and treatments have led to longer and healthier lives for a lot of people who do have them. I had something when I was a baby as well, but haven't had any problems since I was in the hospital from about 6 months old because of the care that I received. So it's a testament to that. And experts say some congenital heart defects may not be found until later in childhood or even into adulthood for some people, but you can do some things, of course, to prevent that and take care of yourself when it comes to activity, but also look out if you have any chest pains while you are maybe working out or doing high levels of activity, or if you are fainting a lot. That can be another sign.
Okay, Maria, thanks for sharing. All right, we're back after this.
Welcome back. Taking a live look at Midtown Omaha. Be oh so careful this morning. We're hearing about a lot of crashes. They're coming in. So take your time and give yourself, take a little caution, give yourself some space. All right, back here in the Weather Center, we have to talk about the temperatures. We're not just dealing with the roads, we're also dealing with extreme cold. These are dangerously cold temperatures.
Yeah, nothing's thawing out there, so the roads are still frozen over. Temperatures are down in the below zero range. You have wind chills that are easily near 20 below in many spots and could dip as cold as 30 below in the wind chill forecast this morning. So that's what we're starting off with, a first alert to that. That's kind of why we kept the first alert weather day going at least through the morning drive. Get everybody where they need to be, and then things improve into the afternoon. We will have sunshine today. That's good news, but this is what we call a cold weather advisory with wind chills that could get as cold as 25 below on average this morning. Have had several spots dip to that this morning. Now, you can see roads clean in several spots, but some places you just see tire tracks, so be mindful of that. The neighborhood's probably going to be a little worse than the main roads, as usual in a scenario like this, but 5 below feels like 16 below. You do not want to be out exchanging information this morning if you don't have to. It's cold getting out of the car. Feels like temperatures you can see down near 25 below in several locations. So out the door this morning, you're going to be below zero. We can get to 16 with sunshine this afternoon. That's it. It's going to be a tough warm up today. Now tomorrow, 32 for the high, not a first alert weather day. Couple of things to watch. You got that midday mix potential to watch for. We'll try to update you on the latest with that. I don't foresee big impacts, but the wind will kick up, and you're talking blowing and drifting snow of what's on the ground. I think you could have That dry powder just blowing everywhere tomorrow as wind gusts hit 40 miles per hour out of the south. Now watch this on Friday too. Let me show you something we haven't had a chance to talk about. A little midday mix tries to drift on through, and it's this little pocket here. Looks a little more ominous than it actually is going to be, I think. May put a few hundredths of an inch of precipitation and then scoot out of here for a quiet afternoon. So it's right around the middle of the day that moves through. That's what will bring in the wind and the warmth up to 32. And then we go backwards on Saturday, where we could have some pretty cold air settle in behind this snow chance and have a first alert weather day because of the combo of this stripe of snow that covers a little more area, I think, with a blanket of maybe some 1 to 2 inch snowfalls. There could be an isolated heavier band in there. That's why I went with the range of 1 to 3. That'll move out in the morning. Then we have the afternoon with falling temperatures. That 24 for the high Saturdays early and crashing. We'll be teens and single digits the rest of the day. 1 to 3 in the metro, probably closer to the low end of that right now. There could be a narrow, heavier band within this. And we'll watch and see if we need to move this around north to south a little bit here over the course of the next 48 hours as we get closer to it. So first alert weather morning here. We got the first alert day for the snow on Saturday, another round of snow potential on Monday, the way it appears. So pay attention to that one over the weekend, because that could put some snow down just in time for your Monday morning drive.
All right, we see these 8s at the end of the 5-day, but it sadly gets even more painful. It somehow gets even colder, Rusty.
Yeah, that's Jared and I were talking about this morning. Some models suggest we struggle to get above 0 for a high sometime middle of next week. You get morning lows that are down near 10 below. The coldest we've been so far this season is 11 below. So that's what we're watching for next week. It just doesn't look like we're going to be able to avoid the cold. We'll have several layers of snow, cold air mass rolling in. Next week, the week beyond that, shows that shifting east. So hopefully we can moderate by the end of the month. But until then,
Ooh, I did see that warmer. Is that eventually going to make its way? Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. But we're talking 10 days plus.
Ooh.
All right. Well, yeah, it's a bit of a mess on the roads right now. We've got several crashes that are out there, and let's dive right into where we're seeing those. We've got L westbound as you're going near 126. Some delays that are showing up there, and that goes back to 120th and L. That's one of our busier intersections in the metro with traffic that's coming in off of I-80. L is used by a lot of people as well. So keep that in mind. You're going to be looking at things being rather slow through there. We've got a new crash that's come in on northbound 680. Now, thankfully, this is over on the right shoulder, but you can see traffic is even slow as you're getting past Pacific and approaching Dodge. So watch that area as another spot for delays. We do have a northbound Blair High currently closed due to a crash right near the Kennard cutoff. You're going to need to seek an alternate route for that. You can go through there southbound. Just watch for the emergency crews that are working that one. And then we've got eastbound 275 with a crash right near Waterloo as you're heading over that bridge that is blocking the right lane. So a lot going on. We're getting a number of crashes being reported. JFK's quite slow as you're approaching I-80. Use extra caution. Leave extra time for the drive. We do have some patchy coverage on the roads. It's especially true for residential areas, some of those ramps, but you've seen some of the cameras that have just that thin layer with some of the tire tracks where it could become slick as you're heading along after a nice smooth drive. So don't get caught off guard. Don't let your guard down as you're heading out the door. We may not have the snow still falling, but there's still some issues to watch out for.
So true. All right. Good advice, Jared. Thank you. Well, due to the potential of more snow over the weekend, the mayor's office says demolition of the Harney Street Bridge over I-480 is now postponed. The city scheduled I-480 to close over the weekend. This is to build a new one that can support the weight of the upcoming Omaha streetcar. Now, at this point, there is no new date for the expected demolition. And happening today, first round hearings continue at the Nebraska Unicam.
Yeah, among the bills up for debate, LB 302, which would eliminate daylight saving time, and LB 34, which would provide for year-round daylight saving time. Now, if passed, neither bill would go into effect until other states adopt similar laws. Floor debate is set to begin at 9. Well, coming up, a Hollywood premiere right here in Omaha.
And the message filmmakers want audiences to take away when we return. Welcome back, everybody. A Hollywood red carpet is making its way to the Metro.
Yeah, a major motion picture called The Unbreakable Boy held its grand premiere last night in Bellevue. So the movie is based on the real-life story of Scott and Austin Lorette and, of course, their family. They live actually out in Papillion. So at a young age, Austin was first diagnosed with brittle bone disease and then later with autism. As he was growing up, his dad, Scott, started writing down some experiences on little notes, and all those notes eventually became a book about 10 years ago. And the stars of this now movie 10 years later, actors Zachary Levi and Peter Facinelli, who were both at Marcus Twin Creek Cinema for the big event. They both say this is a story the world really needs right now.
It feels like this movie's coming out at a good time. It's a movie that spreads the message of love, spreads the message of living in the moment, finding gratitude.
When you get to do a true story and the person that you're portraying is still alive and they're happy with your performance, you know, it's a great honor because that's all you're really trying to do is honor them and their story and their journey.
On a regular day when he's not at a movie premiere, Austin actually works at the theater that this is premiering at, which is so cool. He's right there, by the way. If you see him next time they're there, say hi. I got to also meet him too. He's really a nice guy. You can catch The Unbreakable Boy when it opens in theaters next Friday.
Oh, that
Maria, you got to go to the debut.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
It was just amazing. It was
Really, really cool. And again, the family, you can tell just how much this means to them to see their story being able to be shared. And it was really incredible because so many of their family members from all across the country flew in for the premiere. We spoke with some of their cousins from Tampa, people from California as well, who came to Omaha just to see this. And I mean, it's really a testament that Zach and Peter also came out because that kind of thing doesn't really happen here very often.
I will add too, when I was talking to the father, Scott, earlier in the week to do this, you know, the story about the story, it takes a long time to get a movie together. They filmed this during COVID.
Oh, wow. Really?
And
They said about six years it's taken.
About 5 years. So basically they said also there was the only movie that was filming during COVID out in Oklahoma.
Wow.
So really cool, like little tidbit there.
That's crazy how long it takes to put together.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us. You can join us on our update in the Today Show here or over the air.
All right. Have a good Thursday.
Live from WOWT, this is our First Alert 6 weather day.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A lot to get to this morning as far as weather and traffic. But first, we'll give you an update on the weather with Rusty.
Yeah, it's all about the cold this morning. Wind chills as cold as 25 below here for the next couple of hours. This cold weather advisory goes through about 9 a.m. this morning. Feels like temperatures anywhere from 10 to as cold as 30 below in some spots. Those 30 belows are rare, but they're there occasionally. Actual air temperatures anywhere from 2 below in Norfolk to about 14 below in Columbus. Yeah, it's not warm out there wherever you're at. 90th and Dodge looks pretty good. Today we're going to climb to about 16 for the high. Abundant sunshine, but none of the day is warm. Busy morning on the roads. Let's send it to Jarrett.
We're still dealing with the aftermath of the snow yesterday, and that's getting pretty apparent with the number of crashes we've got. This is when you're looking at Highway 275 eastbound as you're near Waterloo, the right lane blocked as you're going just past Highway 64 there. You can see the slowdowns in place there. We've got a number of other ones to get to here, so let's go through those. Blair High near Kennard, you've got northbound traffic closed at this point, so you need to seek an alternate route for that one. Elsewhere, we've got northbound 680, the right shoulder block between Pacific and Dodge. We have a crash westbound on L. This is 126 backups that go past 120th and L. So you're going to be looking at things being quite slow as you head through that area. And a new one that just came in. This is 114th and Fort. You've got some delays in both directions on Fort. Be careful out there. There are going to be some slick spots that you'll encounter from time to time as you're making your way along the roads. You can see things slowing down on a lot of our major routes, big slowdowns northbound on the JFK. So extra caution, extra time, both good ideas. Aaron.
Frustration over another delay in a murder case against a 13-year-old. A month ago, a judge ordered a mental evaluation, which has yet to happen. That teen's due back in court at the end of the month.
It is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.